In the last video, we talked about the best smartphone you can get between 250,000 to 300,000 that still give you top performance. And just so we are clear, these are not brand new devices. They are older smartphones that are still powerful and worth your money. In today's video, we are doing the same thing. This time, I'm giving you even more options so you will have a wider range to choose from. That way, no matter your preference, you will know exactly which phone fits your budget and your needs. If you haven't watched the video yet, I will leave a link in the description. Make sure you check it out after this one so that you will get the full picture of all smartphones that are available in this budget. Before we dive in, let me make this crystal clear. The phone I recommend here are old models, not new releases. Before making your final decision, I strongly suggest you watch individual reviews of these smartphones. The individual reviews of these smartphones in 2025. Some of them we've already covered right here on this channel. I will leave those links in the description. For the rest, you can always check other reliable reviews to be 100% sure before buying. Alright, with that out of the way, let's jump straight into the list. We are kicking off the list with a Xiaomi. I usually start with Samsung, Pixel or iPhone, but Xiaomi has some absolute hidden gems that people forget about. These older models are cheaper right now and still punch way above their price, so they deserve spotlight on the list. The first one I'm recommending is the Xiaomi Redmi Note 13 Pro 5G. The Note 13 line has so many variants. Be super careful which one you buy. The model you want is the Redmi Note 13 Pro 5G, the 5G version that ships with the Snapdragon 7S Gen 2. If you pick a different Note 13 variant, you could end up with a different chipset and modem. That changed the performance and the 5G support completely. So what exactly are you getting if you go for the Redmi Note 13 Pro 5G? You've got Corning Gorilla Glass protection on the front, glass at the back as well, IP54 rated, so you are getting some splash and dust resistance. This phone featured a 6.67-inch AMOLED panel with a 1220 pixel resolution. The brightness that can hit up to 1800 nits. Colors are sharp, the bezels are slim. The phone ships with Android 13 and it should be getting updates up to Android 15 and the latest HyperOS. Here is the real highlight. The phone runs Snapdragon 7S Gen 2. It is not a mind-blowing flagship level performance. It is very decent compared to the most newer budget phone in the same price of 300,000 naira. The performance you get here is definitely better and more reliable on the long run. There is no memory card slot here, so you can't expand storage. But the good thing is the base model already starts at 128GB of internal storage, 8GB of RAM. It uses UFS 2.2 storage technology, not the fastest by today's standard, but still decent enough for everyday use. Xiaomi gave this phone a 200 megapixel main sensor. That sounds flagship level on the paper. In real world use, it delivers more of a mid-range experience. It still takes solid shots, can record up to 4K videos on the rear camera. There is still a headphone jack if you care about that, plus stereo speakers for better sound quality. Security wise, you've got an under display fingerprint scanner. It is not super fast, but it is fast. The phone packed 5100 mAh cell, which is more than capable for a full day of use. Charging is also quick. It supports 67-watt charging, and with the right charger, you can get from 0 to 50% in about 17 minutes. Overall, Redmi Note 13 Pro 5G is an easy one to recommend if you are already in Xiaomi's ecosystem or you just enjoy Xiaomi's devices. It is a solid buy that balances performance, display quality, battery life very well. Another reason it's easier to recommend is the availability. This phone is very easy to get right now. Poco X5 Pro could also have been a great recommendation here. In fact, in some way, it's even better. But when I factor into availability in Nigeria, it doesn't make much sense. It is not easy to find locally. If you know how to navigate online platforms like AliExpress, you can get it. But for most people, Redmi Note 13 Pro 5G is simply more practical option. The second phone on the list, we've got the Galaxy S22 5G. The standard version, not the Plus, not the Ultra. This is a compact model. It is perfect for anyone who loves smaller phones. With its 6.1-inch size, it feels great in hand, super easy to use one-handed. This thing is still a powerhouse in a compact body. It is sleek, premium, packs all the performance you'd expect from a flagship Samsung device. So the battery of the Galaxy S22 right now in 2025 is not really great. This is where this phone struggle a bit. Even at launched back in 2022, the 3700 mAh battery wasn't exactly impressive. And now in 2025, since you won't be buying this phone brand new, the battery health may have declined even further. If you know your way around battery management, like tracking settings, charging smartly, getting a power bank, you'll be fine. On the performance side, Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 inside this phone is a beast. It is fast, smooth, easily capable of handling anything you throw at it. Then the downside, that power comes at a cost. The chip is known for running hot in certain scenarios, like the AAA Snapdragon, and combined with the smaller battery, you may find yourself running low on power quicker than you'd like. But aside from that, the Galaxy S22 is still an easy recommendation if you want a compact phone with a reliable performance, great camera, and in fact, the rear camera can even shoot up to 8K video, which is insane considering the price you'll be paying for this phone right now. Talking about the price, when you consider how much you'll be paying for this phone right now in 2025, it honestly feel like you are getting flagship experience for a steal. You are also getting UFS 3.1 storage, which is nice and fast. Storage option comes in either 128 or 256 gigabytes. Now the display of this phone, this is where Samsung always shines. The S22 packs 6.1-inch dynamic AMOLED 2x display, 120Hz refresh rate, HDR10+, 1080p resolution, and it is also protected by Corning Gorilla Glass Victus Plus. Durability isn't a concern. The screen looks fantastic, bright, smooth, and premium in every way. Overall, it is a very solid phone. Yes, the battery life is the main downside. If you can live with that, then the S22 gives you a compact design, powerful performance, and a camera that can still compete with iPhone 2025 flagship phones. In addition to all that, this phone is still up to date with the latest Android version, latest One UI. So you are covered when it comes to software and security updates. Then the next phone we have here on the list is actually cheaper. You might not believe the kind of performance you are getting here for just around 250,000 naira. I'm talking about the Google Pixel 6a. Let's start with the software. Even though this phone was released back in 2022, you are still getting latest Android update directly from Google, plus the clean, smooth Pixel experience that people love. That's one of the biggest advantage of having a Pixel device. It's still fresh and updated for years. Under the hood, it runs the Google's first generation Tensor chipset. This isn't crazy gaming processor. It is not meant to handle extreme gaming section at the highest graphics setting. You can do play games at the highest graphics setting, but you don't want to do that on this phone. But it is still very efficient and still capable of running games and multitasking without issue. Pixel 6a comes in just one single variant, 6GB with 128GB of internal storage. UFS 3.1, nothing fancy, but it gets the job done. Where this phone really shines is the camera. If you care about photography and video, this is a phone for you in this price range. The setup is simple, 12.2 megapixel wide lens plus 12 megapixel ultra wide, but the results are legendary thanks to Google's software processing. You consistently get photos and video that looks like they came from a much more expensive phone. It is hard to believe that this budget phone in 2025 can produce this level of quality. The selfie camera is an 8 megapixel shooter, which is decent enough, though it doesn't support 4K video recording. Still, for everything else, the rear camera, photos, and video, then the Pixel 6a absolutely delivers. The OLED panel on the Pixel 6a is also worth mentioning, even though it is just 1080p resolution. The colors are punchy, vibrant, and very well tuned. Battery wise, it packs a 4410 mAh battery. Back in 2022, that was considered just okay, but in 2025, it is still decent. With older smartphones, you can't expect the same level of endurance as brand new devices, but it still holds up well enough. The best part is the price. At around 250,000 naira right now, you are getting one of the best camera experience in this range. plus solid overall performance, latest Android software, it is a fantastic deal. The next phone on the list is actually another Google smartphone as well, which is the Google Pixel 9a, which is also an amazing option here in 2025. Very close to Pixel 6a in a lot of ways, but Google made some notable improvements that are worth mentioning. The first big update is the refresh rate. While the Pixel 6a stopped at 60 Hz, the Pixel 7a stepped it up to 90 Hz, making everything feel smoother whenever you are scrolling, gaming, or you are just moving around the UI. It is basically the same clean, up-to-date Pixel experience as the latest Pixel device. You are covered with the latest Android update straight from Google. Performance also got a pump. The Pixel 7a comes with Google Tensor G2 chipset. That is the second generation of Google's in-house processor, paired with 8 GB of RAM compared to 6 GB of RAM that we have on the Pixel 6a. You get better multitasking, smoother gaming, high graphics setting for games are now more manageable. The camera also saw a big update. The main sensor is now a 64 megapixel shooter. On the front, you are getting 13 megapixel selfie camera, and the best part is that it can now record in 4K 30 FPS. That is a huge step up from the Pixel 6a's 1080p limit on the front camera. Battery wise, it is a bit of a mixed bag. At 4,385 mAh, it is actually a slight downgrade compared to the Pixel 6a, but in day-to-day use, it is still very manageable thanks to the efficiency of the Tensor G2 chip. Here is really what surprised me: the price. At launch, this phone was sold for around $499. Right now, you can grab it in Nigeria for between 250,000 to 300,000 naira. For what you are getting, the solid camera, smooth performance, latest Google software, it is an absolute steal. So all the phones I've mentioned, Xiaomi Redmi Note 13 Pro 5G, Poco X5 Pro, Galaxy S22, Pixel 6a, Pixel 7a, all are solid options you can pick right now for a relatively small amount of money. These devices still deliver really good performance, solid camera, and even flagship-like experience that most new budget phones simply can't match. When you compare them to the latest budget smartphone, it is clear these older smartphones even give you more value for money. You are not just getting performance, you're also getting features and camera quality that newer smartphones don't usually offer. What do you think? Do you believe going for older smartphones like these phones is the smarter move, or would you rather stick to the newer budget devices? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, then we'll catch you in the next one.